welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. That audio clip from our friend who was a security guard at Disney that showed up naked to a prostitute's house. Well, it ended up turning to be a sting operation. He will not be working at Disney anymore. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
That's so sad, Brian. It really is.
It is sad.
Because if he didn't work for Disney, they wouldn't have made that big of a deal out of it.
That is true. It is Sharp and Shapiro. It is the Vegas Take. And if you've been living under a rock, you might not know, but UNLV has a new football coach. And Tony Sanchez, of course, was fired. They hired this guy Arroyo from Oregon. We've been talking a lot about it the last few days. But what do some legends think about it? What does the athletic director think about it? Her first public statements. We're going to talk about that. By the way, tomorrow on the show, we are going to cover the press conference in welcoming Arroyo live. That is going to be at 11 a.m. So we are going to do our best to cover that press conference live for you, and we will have a correspondent out there. So that's going to be interesting. I think we have a pretty good idea of what's going to be said here. What does Randall Cunningham think of this hire? Well, Randall Cunningham, he hasn't been extremely close to the program, but he's commenting on it, and it's positive. He's saying he's more excited than ever since Coach Harvey Hyde left in 1985. He also went on to say that he thinks that we hope that now we're going in the right direction. So Cunningham is certainly giving kudos to this hire. What is Arroyo saying about this? He said, quote, "The opportunity to train, practice, and compete in some of the country's best facilities in one of the world's most vibrant cities cannot be understated." He also went on to say, "We will work tirelessly to elevate UNLV football to the championship caliber program that it is positioned to be. I can't wait to get started, and I look forward to meeting our student athletes, support staff, and fans." Desiree Reed-Francois, athletic director, said, "We looked for a leader that is a great evaluator of talent, who can sell what makes UNLV, our community, and our program unique, and helps develop and prepare our student athletes for the next level." She went on to say, "When Marcus and I reconnected during the search process, his alignment with these attributes became evident." Now, this is something very similar that Francois said about TJ Otzelberger.
The way that she makes these statements is it's like UNLV is Notre Dame. UNLV is not Notre Dame. It's not a Jesuit school with extremely high academic and accomplishments or qualifications or expectations. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is in the entertainment capital of the world.
I'm approaching this the same way I approached the TJ Otzelberger hire. I think there were better candidates out there. I'm very wary. I'm very skeptical. We named a few of those candidates that I thought would have been better for this job. Let's give this guy a chance. But just like the hire of TJ Otzelberger, where I think you're overpaying somebody that is not proven to win as a head coach at the D1 level in the right situation. Yes, TJ Otzelberger won at South Dakota State. Yes, he had one of the best offensive players in the country in a very weak conference. The Mountain West Conference is very different. The pressure here at UNLV is very different. Yes, this guy Arroyo has won as an assistant coach, as an offensive coordinator. He's never been a head D1 coach before. It is a gamble, and you could make the statement that, well, you hire any coach, it's a gamble. Yes and no. Yeah. I mean, you hire someone that has been a head coach and successful at the D1 level. She's decided not to do that. And we know what Francois likes to do, right? She likes to hire young, up-and-coming coaches and pay them a lot of money, which I don't think UNLV can afford. But with that being said, we got to give this guy a chance. Let's see what he can do. I'm going to give you the exact same opinion that I gave with TJ Otzelberger, in that I don't think he's going to get you to the promised land, meaning I said TJ's not going to make Sweet 16s. He's not going to win tournaments and win games in the NCAA tournament. I'm not sure Arroyo is the guy. My personal prediction on this guy, and again, we learned a lot about him, that he can recruit, which I think is great. We learned a lot about him.
But that's at Oregon, man.
Right. You're not going to do the same here. I don't care what the facilities are.
You've got Nike backing you at Oregon. You're the only show in town.
That's a good point.
In Autzen. You've got a great NFL not bloodline, but streamline of players that go to the pros. You don't have that at UNLV. And this guy, he's never made second half adjustments. He's never been behind. He's always had top talent in the Pac-12. If he doesn't have the top talent here in the Mountain West, is he going to be able to win? I mean, it's not as bad of a situation with Tony Sanchez as far as being unprepared, but it's close. It is close. I mean, coming from a major school like Oregon in the Pac-12, where you have 4- and 5-star recruits, up go consistently. Here, you're not going to have those type of recruits.
I'm going to say
you're not going to have that experience. You're totally unproven, especially in those second halves of games, and that's where UNLV lost the last 3 years. It's the second half.
Halftime adjustments.
Tony Sanchez made 0 second half. He made poor second half adjustments because he didn't have to at Gorman against better competition.
Yeah, when you're up by 8 touchdowns at halftime, you don't have to make many adjustments.
Exactly.
So, again, my opinion is the same with T.J. Otzelberger. I remember when T.J. was hired, and look, T.J.'s a really nice guy, and we're rooting for him, just like I rooted for Tony Sanchez. But, we talked a lot about some other coaches that we thought would have been a better fit at UNLV, Mike Miller being one of them. And, Francois decided to go in a different direction. I'm not a big fan of this hire, and if you listen to other networks that refuse to say one negative thing about UNLV, refuse to be honest, and kiss the ass of the UNLV athletic department, guess what? We will never do that here.
It's not that I'm not a big fan of it. I just have my reservations, and I think they are warranted. And the thing with Mike Miller is, you can make the same argument that he wasn't head coach either, but in basketball, you've got 5 players. If you can recruit 3 5-star players, you're going to be good immediately. In football, there's 12. There's 24 on both. There's 11. There's 22 on both sides of the ball. You have to recruit a full team to be good. You can have 4 or 5 5-star players and still not be good. If you have 3 5-star offensive linemen and a 4-star wide receiver and not a good quarterback, you're still going to lose games. In football, you have to build your team around having an entire culture of winning. Whereas in basketball, 2 good players or 3 good players can guarantee you a trip to the Elite Eight.
And that's a very valid point, and I agree with you. Let me also say this: the same people that are doing jumping jacks about this football hire are the same people that were doing jumping jacks when they hired Dave Rice. They are wrong. Their history proves that they are wrong. And I'm not saying I'm always right, okay? But when Lon Kruger...
You kind of are.
Well, where have I ever been wrong about UNLV since I've been here, okay?
You're pretty spot on, including with wagers.
Yes. I said when they got rid of Lon Kruger and they wouldn't pay him the money he wanted, that it was going to set the program back a decade. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. I said when they hired Dave Rice, a guy that had never been a head coach before, I said that was a mistake. When they hired Marvin Menzies, who was 7th up on the list, I said that was a mistake. When they hired Beard for a week, I said it was a slam dunk hire, a home run hire, and I was doing nothing but complimenting UNLV.
And you know what Texas Tech just did 2 days ago? They just beat the #1 team in the country, Louisville, in Madison Square Garden.
I saw that, which is weird because they lost 2 games here in Las Vegas.
One to my alma mater, Iowa.
They lost to Creighton in Iowa. They got killed. So that was. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is Beard would have been a fantastic hire here. And I gave them kudos for that. I'm not going to do jumping jacks. Like I said, the same people who do nothing but say positive things about UNLV and fail to criticize them in any way are those that are doing jumping jacks with this hire. I hope it works out. I hope it works out for Francois and UNLV. I'm not going to do jumping jacks over it. This guy has never been a head coach before.
And is he going to put fans in the seat immediately?
No way.
Absolutely not.
And then there are people out there that say, well, what hire would have? We named a couple guys yesterday that if you had hired them, Gruden being one of them, he would have got people in the seats. That's the bottom line. He would have got people in the seats. There are hires you could have made. We talk about Rick Pitino. We had Pitino on the show before. If you hired Rick Pitino for this job, and yes, I believe he would have accepted the job, the Thomas and Mack would have been packed.
And also, I think that going with an offensive coordinator, UNLV's problems were never offensively. Their problems have been defensively. Like hiring a guy like a Dave Aranda from LSU, to me, would have been a slam dunk hire. Had he been a coach before? No, but defensive coordinators know how to coach. Games are lost in the second half because of defensive failures. And hiring a defensive coordinator, to me, would have made more sense than an offensive coordinator.
Well, we're gonna cover the live press conference tomorrow. Arroyo and Francois will be making some remarks. We'll cover that tomorrow. Also, Treasure Island comedian Chad Prather will be joining us, so that'll be a lot of fun. So a lot to get to tomorrow, and of course, we will cover the live press conference, folks. We are going to take a 21-hour break. We'll be back at you tomorrow bright and early, folks. Have a great afternoon. Sean Hannity coming up next.